tell the people about the musical disc coming your way.
Big Deal Sounds present Dub Stories Online Limited Series. Thursdays at 9 p.m. GMT plus 3.
Yo, brother.
Yo, sir.
Yeah, give thanks for the link.
Yeah, man. Bless up, man.
Yeah, long time you wait.
All right, finally happened.
Yo, finally.
Finally.
Yeah, so let's start with a bit of introduction. Find out who's Stereo5 and where it all began for you.
Okay. So, well, Stereo5 started in 1988. Me, Porridge, Stumpy, Danger, and Owie. That's how the name came up with Stereo5, because it was 5 of us in high school. You know, decided to build a local sound. And that's how we started out from high school days.
How were the early years in the Bronx in the 90s with a sound system and a sound clash?
Yeah, well, back in the 90s, to be honest, we never used to do a lot of sound clash, you know. It was more juggling dance. But, you know, some of them juggling dance turn out in a clash. But we wasn't really, per se, a sound clash sound. It was more of a juggling sound. But we had clashes in the 90s, but we wasn't just out just clashing like Addis, you know, was just basically sound clash. We was more in the scene, more like Africa. We did a lot of dances and stuff with Africa. It was more in the juggling scene.
So when did it finally pick up and you guys started like serious sound clashes?
Well, you know, so the sound clash thing, where we basically based on sound clash is when, it would have said probably about 6-7 years ago, when we just start basically focus on sound clash. Like I said, back in the 90s, you cut dub and everybody clash. But I would say probably in the last 10 years, lower, where you just basically focus on clash, which is basically me just turn it mostly into a clash. Because me get tired and fed up of the regular juggling dance. So me more focused on the sound clash thing. Which Porridge still do a lot of juggling dance, but me, I'm not really into the juggling dance.
So starting out and the music making its journey from Jamaica to probably the Bronx, how then did you used to get the dub plates?
Well, back then you used to have to go to Jamaica to get your dub plates. And it so happened that we got arrows one time to cut some dubs. I would build up a relationship with Litter when he used to work at arrows. So at that point, I would start actually send the money to Litter directly, tell him what we want, and he would advise the dubs and FedEx them back to it. So there was no email. So you'd actually get a dub plate itself. You would FedEx back a dub plate itself directly to it.
1988, starting out, who are some of your earlier influences?
Well, there was so much sound back then. There was so much sound, and I think people were more into the music and the sound thing back then than it is now. There was no specific influence. It was just like sound thing, and it was a thing what we like, so we just started getting into it. But I wouldn't say like we have a main influence. So I say everybody tried to be like, I would say Stone Love back then, all of the sound from Jamaica. But I wouldn't say I had a main influence.
Most memorable clash?
Most memorable clash.
Out of all the clashes
I think the most memorable clash we had was with Stonewall and Antigua, you know. Because that was like the first clash that we actually leave America and go somewhere to clash. And the thing we remember about the clash there, when we reached Antigua, we actually did a radio interview. And Berger, at the time Whitney and Berger played the song. After we did the interview and played some song on the radio, Berger didn't show up at the clash. Like the man get nervous and never show up. So Whitney ended up playing the song by himself.
Wow, okay. So starting out in 1988, when then did you start like cutting dubs?
Well, back then, every sound cut dubs.
Uh-huh.
Even if you're juggling sound, any sound, back then, because the thing about it, you have to have your own sound system.
Mm-hmm.
And if you never have your own sound system, you wouldn't get on date. And if you don't have dubs, your sound never really respected. So back then, everybody cut dubs was like the thing. It's not like now we find juggling selectors only just play 45. Back then, if you don't play dubs, your sound wasn't rated as a good sound because you have to have dubs. So that's why everybody back then cut dubs. If you look at all of the sound from the 90s, they all are dubs. So I say they all have dub because if you never voice dub, your sound not get no respect.
So immediately you started out, you also started cutting dub from the high school days?
No, we never really start cut dub till I would say 90 come up. The first couple of years, we never really have no money for cutting on dub. We start look at dubs like area people, because so you they step on the sound named Danger. He was actually the first dub of Vice. And he used to DJ and with Vice. I look at one song with him and come up, but we never really start out cutting dubs.
You've been around for over almost around 30 years.
Yeah, more than 30 years, yeah.
What would you say is the number of tunes, dubs you own?
The amount?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I checked, we have over 7,000 dubs now.
7,000.
We have more songs than people think.
So would you say it's a hobby?
Yeah, it is a hobby. It's an expensive hobby.
But very addictive?
Yeah. Something is very addictive. It's like, I think that's one of the worst hobbies, dub plates. Something you never get a return on.
You started it out for Stereo5. Do you have any younger members coming up in the sound?
Well, in New York right now, I just me alone play, you know. I just be alone play. Part of some youth with them at Jamaica and stuff, but in New York, it's hard to get good help right now, bro. It's kind of hard to get good help. Most people not into music and just into it for the hype and what them can get out of it. It's all about the hype.
And looking back where you started in the Bronx in the earlier years and all the way to now, what are some of the major changes you've noticed with the younger generation coming in?
Well, the younger generation, like I said, the younger generation into music now, they don't really love music like when we do it. Because first of all, them don't spend any money. Back then, you have to buy a record. Which, if them still have to buy records, a lot of sound wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Now it's just download. Everything is free.
True.
So once you get a laptop, everybody who have a laptop is a DJ or a sound man. That's the main changes. Back then, if you have to actually spend money and go cut dub and cut records or buy records every week, a lot of sound wouldn't exist.
Yeah, true. What should we expect in October?
Well, very good competition. Stereo5 in fine style.
So I want to get into your five most memorable dubs with a story behind it.
All right, five memorable dubs with a story behind it. All right.
Yeah.
Let me start off. Let me start growing here. So, all right, let's start with first member dub. Let's start is Nitty Gritty. And over get to Vice Nitty Gritty, we actually went to Brooklyn for Superpower Records to buy a record. Because that we used to every weekend drive around and try to get record. So we went to Superpower to buy some record, and when we went into the record shop, Nitty Gritty was in there. And we check him and him say, yeah, him could have do some dub for it. So at the time being true, when we go, we never really have that much money because our record we go. So we had some money, we said, all right, we'll voice one song, and the following week, we'd go back to voice some more song. So we end up going around a Roddy. Roddy used to have a studio named 3R. And we went over 3R studio and voice one Nitty Gritty and said the following weekend would I end up go voice a couple more songs. And he passed away before we could even get a chance to voice more. So start off and play Nitty Gritty.
Yeah, man. Stereo5 play, man. Yeah? Enough some boy run, man. Yeah. Stereo5 plug. And a sound boy run away. Alright then, Stereo5 play. And a sound boy catch them break. Alright now. Yeah, man. Get to a sound boy, man. Yeah, man, don't diss the program. Cease. Stereo5 give. Stereo5 keep the dance all and laggy. Alright, now they don't lie. Come on, then. Stereo5 is a song we got play around the world. 5 is a song we got play around the world. Nobody try come test Swaggy. Nobody try come test Swaggy. Cause we know on no brag and brag. Cause we know on no bang around. Cause we know on no damn old band.
Yeah, man, that was Nitty Gritty. The next song we're going to play is a 3 hard way. It's Ken Boot, John Holt, and Delroy Wilson. The song your voice was done one studio. Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody that called me. All right. Yeah, song voice over done one studio. And this is now put together combination of all 3 artists in the studio at the same time. 3 hard way.
On respect God, don't take your mouth down count. Me rather say that I watch out. Excess amount of things I want to know when I watch out. Original foundation thingers life. Jesus Christ, I watch out see the murder for you. Jump Wood, Delroy Wilson, and we're going to murder people I know. John Boone, Step Guns. Stereo5 sheltered me from storm. Kept me warm. Kept me warm. He played the plate for me. Make me feel free. Make me feel free. On the silent steps, Stereo5 will kill you. In a mystic form, porridge will murder you. Speedy will make you run until you cry. How we gonna make you wanna die? Be careful, be careful. Stereo5 hold on to you like a murderer. Stereo5 is in a game mode. Let me tell you, people, Stereo5 is in a murder. Kill them, Stereo5, kill them. When you feel the beat, people, you got to get up and move your feet.
Yeah, man, that's really hard way. All right, the next song I'm going to play is Dennis Brown. This is actually the first Dennis Brown dub plate over voice. So, Dennis Brown.
It's a sample to the world, I say. All the Stereo5 must have respect large. Speedy, always Barry, your boss, but you know. I have champagne say, oh, me bring cross to the world. The king of reggae, yeah, with Dennis Brown, kick it. Took a walk past your house late at night. Off the stage, was cooking the run way down tight. But within, could you laugh at? To celebrate something, say, oh, what a love is so cool, baby. Stereo5, 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 wow, Stereo5, 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 wow. I step to your house with wings. Oh, my fear, not you like I never loved. You, my sweet, don't let you if I would be. To fill our wets of the shade, I'd rather die. The tears in my eyes, Stereo5.
Yeah, man, Dennis Brown. Then the next song I'm going to play is a Bounty Killer. Because back then, as a young sound, you know, everybody wanted a Bounty Killer dub.
Yeah.
And when you get first Bounty Killer dub, it was like, yo, joy when you get your first Bounty Killer dub. You can't say every soul man can say, yo, the first time you get a Bounty Killer dub from in the 90s was like, yo, the best thing, Bounty.
None of mercy. This is none other than the mighty Stereo5. None of mercy. He gun pop out and inform I must die. When me done with them cannot be recognized. None of mercy. I gotta become like Speedy. None of mercy. The man called Howie. None of mercy. The man called Parriage. None of mercy. Somebody gonna get damaged. We're on the track. The man called Mr. Pool with him tool. All sexy ladies. None of mercy. Man from Manhattan. Man from Brooklyn. Man from Bronx. Skip tanks. None of mercy. Man from New York. All parts. Connecticut, New Jersey. Manassasi. None of mercy. Stereo5 and show to get the gun thirsty. Well, Mama sound guy for dead, Mr. Neki go so dead. Pass Stereo5 them no care. Gunshot we recommend to them heart and to them face. When I get the boss in the air. To work the trigger, I pull the trigger. Stereo5 a murder somebody them no care. To work the trigger, I pull the trigger. Pop out the gun and kill the boy and the hell. Hey, get out of here. No find no care. Don't you hold, you make me launch nuclear. One launch me launch and them houses up here. Next time them bring them who did the air. Lord them life ditched out in me there.
Yeah, man, Bounty. The next song I'm playing is a Steel Pulse. And the reason I played a Steel Pulse, it took me years. Everybody would try to get a link with to get Steel Pulse. It was like a big deal. Nobody had a link to him until I actually link up with Buck. You know, if Buck is a guy who work up a Moody's record. And him get me the link to Steel Pulse. It was a joy when I voiced Steel Pulse for the first time. Steel Pulse.
Yes, Stereo5 in the house here right now because why? You see the stereo? It means all them bangarang songs are surrounded. Yes, the 5 we box up, we kick up, we thump up, we dub up and kill up. Stereo5, come take some life. It's a Steel Pulse and I endorse.
Yow, 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 yow. Here now, we kill him out the sound, we kick him out of town. The tin pan sound, we kill him out the sound, we put him on the ground. Bang, bang, sound. We kill him out the sound, we put him on the ground. Bang, bang, sound. We kill another sound and put him on the ground. A bang that I sound, a Stereo5, a Texan life. Next sound white, blood flow like a river. Stereo5, a Texan life. A them a damn, them a champion.
Yeah, man, Steel Pulse. And the next final song I'm going to play, that song boy take me years to get this artist spanned up, which a lot of songs still have it. But I'm have to big up for the Downbeat. But I can get me that song, yeah. If it wasn't for Downbeat, I'm going to get this artist spanned up. Saying this is Sammy Levi.
Now this is Sammy Levi coming to you live, endorsing the big bad sound like Stereo5. And you don't know any sound test will die in the hands of Speedy, Porridge, Ken Boot. Don't mess with him because you don't know him will shoot. Come begin the sound. Look at it. Don't you mess around Stereo5 name, cause it is a shame. Don't you mess around Stereo5 name. Don't try to loop no fame. It's a shame, shame, shame. When you mess around Stereo5 name. It's a shame, shame, shame. When you mess around Stereo5 name. Cause it is a shame. Now let me tell you, no what's it? Oh, you know, you ain't gonna take it. Now let me tell you, no what's it? Oh, you know, you ain't gonna like it. Don't mess around Stereo5 name.
Yes, man.
Yeah. So going into World Clash, and what's your thought on the current clash formats of shorter rounds?
Yeah, well, the only thing that we not too like with the World Clash is the amount of sound, like 8 or 9 sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rounds are more short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much sound. I really don't like microwave clash, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do one-on-one clash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the microwave clash sometime, and with the 45 on this, I think 45 sharp clash should be 45 clash, dub clash should be dub clash.
Mm-hmm.
So I say if you have a thing as a world clash, it's supposed to be dub plate. So I'm saying if you say he's a world clash champion, I suppose you can clash any sound of the world. You can't say, oh, you don't want to clash certain sound if there's 45. If you win world clash, and them say, all right, we'll keep a clash with you and Jaro, or you and Bass Odyssey, or you and Addis, or anybody. You're supposed to can go in the dance and play, you know, if you depend on 45 and I depend on 10 minutes and 5 minutes round. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really like the 45 and the amount of sound, but it is what it is. And I saw them set it up, so we know it, so we have to just deal with it.
Being the end of the World Clash, what should we expect ahead?
From Stereo5?
Yeah, from Stereo5 and also as a clash industry.
Me more thinks a one-on-one clash is more important to me than even a microwave clash. And world clash is a microwave clash.
Yeah.
So if world clash stop like them say it's gonna be the end, we still have a clash. Most one-on-one clash. So I say, so one clash finish, that doesn't mean the industry finish. So I say we just move on to the next thing. I'm saying, so hopefully there'll be more one-on-one clash. You can actually prove yourself.
But do you feel like it's a clash is still attractive for promoters?
Yeah, if you keep the right clashes, yeah. Definitely. If you keep the right clashes. The problem with New York, them that keep too many clashes. So the class scene, it kind of water down some, but if you keep the right clashes, man, people interested in the right clashes, they have the right lineup.
What is Stereo5 up to at the moment?
Well, I'm not doing no online clashes. A couple of people link me, but I'm not really into the online clashes. I did a couple of things, Facebook Live. I did a couple of online stuff. I did Walshy Fire, 90s juggling. And I'm actually have a UK dub fiddle, which is play song. But the clashes online, I'm not doing the online clashes.
Stereo5, that's my time. And
Okay.
I want to thank you for coming on board and being part of the show.
No problem. You're welcome.
Yeah, and keep the link, and I know we'll link up again soon.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Keep up the good work and manners and respect.
Okay, respect.
Listen me, you know this is Bass here, I represent for the big deal sound. Hear me now? The real deal sound from Africa. I know straight out of Compton, big deal straight out of Africa. The motherland, hear me now man? I know sound better than. Yo, warm to them.